This is Mega Draft, except every card my opponent picks, I have to pick a card that does bad against it. Alright guys, we just got a match right now, and basically, we're just trying to pick cards as bad as possible against our opponent. We're trying to get as countered as possible. So this guy does go for the Boss Bandit, and I have to think about something that really sucks against Boss Bandit. I feel like what kind of sucks against Boss Bandit is honestly probably the Skelly King. It just has a lot of HP, but it does so little damage, so it's not really the best option to counter a Boss Bandit. And what else we could pick here? Let's see. What else sucks against the Boss Bandit? I would say the Goblin Machine kind of does. It just doesn't have the DPS needed to take it down. Ooh, he takes the Princess and the Guards. So, the Guards, I would say they do the best against really heavy hitters, so I'm going to take the Mini Pekka. And then Princess, I would say, just counters decks that don't have the proper spell to take it out. So, we could take a Zap, because, yeah, it's just really good against Zap decks, or decks that don't have Log. Oh gosh, he took Flying Machine. It is absolutely horrible to have Rocket against a Flying Machine deck, so I am going to go ahead and snag the Rocket right here. As far as Goblin Barrel goes, I don't even know what I would say would be something that Goblin Barrel counters. Shoot, what do I take? I don't know, maybe the Void Spell. Void Spell sucks against it. Oh snap, okay, he took the Tornado and the Cannon. So I think one thing I definitely have to go for here is going to be the Balloon, because Balloon sucks against Tornado decks usually, especially if they have a building. Oh man, he took Goblin Drill as well. Okay, I could either think of a card that gets countered by Cannon or that gets countered by Goblin Drill. I don't really think any cards get countered by Goblin Drill very much, but the Cannon, I mean, I guess I could take a Ram Rider for that. Alright guys, we're up against Dark Wizard the Fortnite Mauger, apparently. So yeah, we'll see how we do here. This might be a really hard Mega Draft challenge, but I don't know. We're also kind of far in the challenge right now, guys. We're, yeah, almost towards the end of it, so we're probably going to face some actually pretty good opponents. And as we go on in the video, our opponents are going to get better and better, which is going to be a little bit scary. And guys, make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoy these Mega Draft challenge videos. Personally, I do like Mega Draft quite a bit. I like making these videos. We do get our Void down on the barrel, but look how much damage it just got. See, Void is just not an ideal spell against Goblin Barrel. Not really the greatest start for us, but hopefully we can make something work. Okay, he goes for the Bridge Princess. Well, that's just going to give us a free Skelly King. Maybe if he gets really aggressive with his bait cards, we can find a way to punish him. He does get his guards off, but I feel like he's kind of messing up his cycle right now because he's not really trying to keep the guards for the Mini Pekka or the Princess for defense. So maybe we can kind of like surprise him with a Balloon or something. I know that he knows that I have Balloon, but I feel like he's still not really thinking in advance about how he's going to counter it. So we're going to go in for the Balloon right here, and he probably has like, what, a cannon or something? No, he goes for the Flying Machine. But Flying Machine is not going to be enough to actually stop it. Okay, with Tornado he is going to stop it, but that's fine. Mini Pekka can hopefully kill the Boss Bandit. He does get his ability, but yeah, Mini Pekka is actually not too shabby here. It will get countered though once he starts going for the guards with his Boss Bandits, then that'll be kind of bad for us. He does get his cannon down for the Ram Rider, and it seems just really hard for us to break through right now. Kind of expecting a Bridge Princess soon as well. Okay, he goes for the Goblin Barrel. We could just get our Zap onto it, but man, it's always going to get chip damage for him. Okay, I actually got to be kind of locked in right now, guys. I actually have to play my best Clash Royale to win this. Oh, you know, I just realized, bro, this guy is so silly. I'm literally trying to get countered by him, and then he just had the bright idea to pick a Goblin Drill deck into Skeleton King. Because Skeleton King is actually a good card against the Goblin Drill, so I don't know why he would do that. Like, he's literally playing himself. I didn't force him to to do that. Alright, our Balloon is getting awfully close to the tower. He does stop it, I guess, but wait, that NATO was so bad! Nice, that literally allowed his Princess to die there. He does go for the defensive drill against our Ram Rider, but I feel like we're getting the momentum shifted just a little bit to our favor right now. Even though we have kind of, like, cards that get countered by him, I feel like overall our deck has pretty decent synergy. And this guy might have just added so many good cards to his deck that they just don't really have the right synergy, so yeah. Wait, he missed the cannon. I'm literally gonna rocket the Princess just for fun. I could have went for the Void on it, guys, but the whole point of this video is to kind of try to get countered, so I don't want to use, like, the normal counters to cards if I can help it, you know? I could have just gone for a Void on the Princess, I guess, but yeah. Okay, I'm actually kind of in a pickle right now, though. I'm down, like, 800 damage. I do have the spell cycle capability, though, of the Rocket and the Void and stuff, so I can always use that to my advantage. I think I mainly have to focus more on the Ram Rider, though, because I feel like the balloon is struggling a little bit right here. But maybe Ram Rider can do a little bit better. It's still going to get countered by cannon, but sometimes you can break through. Wait, guys, second rocket. Is that going to hit the machine? No, I don't think it's going to, is it? Oh, no, it does. Okay, cannon already died. But I think we might have just won from that rocket, guys. Let's pop our Skelly King ability as well. And let's go for a balloon, too. Ram Rider's going to kill the princess. This guy is such a silly goose. Evo silly goose right here. All right, we are up against this guy. I don't know if he's like from China or something like that, because I feel like something Wong, but I'm not sure. Alright, so he does go for the arrows, so we could just take the minions, because that does get hard countered by arrows. And what also gets countered by arrows, I would say, is the Dart Goblin, for sure. Oh, he took the Electro Spirit and the Skeleton Barrel. So against the Skeleton Barrel, the ideal type of cards would be, like the, you know, the small spells like Zap or Snowball. So I guess I have to go for, like, a heavier spell. Wait, first I'm going to take the Graveyard, because Graveyard sucks against E-Spirit. But next up, I have to think about what Skelly Barrel would counter. Shoot, I would say... You know, actually, I'm going to take Bomb Tower, because I feel like Bomb Tower is just so bad against Skelly Barrel compared to the 3 Elixir buildings like Tombstone or Cannon. Oh, snap, he took the Earthquake and the Poison. I mean, I already have Bomb Tower, but I guess I'll double down and take a Cannon as well, because that gets fully shut down by the Earthquake spell. And what else is kind of weak against Poison, I guess has to be the Little Prince, because it does just fully die to a Poison spell. Okay, guys, he took the Prince and the Tesla. So the Tesla, I would say, and the Prince are going to counter Electro Giant pretty well. So I think I'm going to go for the E-Giant, yeah, because both of them will counter the E-Giant. And yeah. Oh my gosh, there's no way this guy just went for Sparky. You know what's really, really bad here in this matchup against Prince and the Sparky has to be the Executioner, so we'll go for that. Alright, I mean, our deck has, like, some elements that look kind of normal, guys, but also a lot of really weird things about it, and he's just gonna have, like, all the perfect counters to us. But he does give us an early King activation, though, with this E-Spirit, which is actually pretty nice for us. He does have Skelly Barrel, so having our King up is not really gonna be the biggest deal in the world, I guess, but it still could help sometimes. You never know when it could come in clutch, but... Just have the Poison there for the Little Prince. And he just get his Prince down, guys. I genuinely might just Graveyard the floor here. Yeah, I'm going to Graveyard the floor. I just have to get rid of the Prince, you know? If I let the Prince just kill my Executioner and counter push, that would just be so annoying. So I think this Graveyard is really our best shot. And it does defend the Prince, so I guess that's not too bad. He does go for his Tesla as well. We could probably get our E-Giant going in the back, though, because without his Tesla, without his Prince, I don't really see him stopping this John. Yeah, let's just go for this in the back. Our cycle is kind of annoying, though, that we have 2 buildings. That's the only issue right here, but hopefully we can make it work. I guess I'll just go for a Bomb Tower here. I could have went for a Cannon, but kind of the goal here is to try to play cards that get countered by him, so I kind of just purposely played a Bomb Tower. Wait, the Bomb Tower is going to get on the Sparky. Do I even need to minions here? Yo, I don't even need to minions. If I minions, he'll just arrows and kill the Bomb Tower. Yo, the Sparky's genuinely getting destroyed by the Bomb Tower. That is so funny. I've never seen a Bomb Tower counter a Sparky before. I'm going to go in for the Graveyard here. I know we take the Prince charge and a hit as well, but I feel like I would have just had to take a lot worse of a situation if I tried to Graveyard the floor against the Prince there. Dart Goblin does get a bit of sneaky darts on the tower, not too shabby. Alright guys, I'm going to go for the E-Giant randomly at the bridge here and just hope he messes up his defense. I was going to go for E-Giant in the back, but I just realized, like, he has the Sparky, so if I go for E-Giant in the back, he's just going to build up a big push. We do get our ability, which does slice his Tesla, and it pushes our E-Giant into the tower. No way. Our E-Giant literally just got pushed into the tower there, so it started stunning it up earlier. Okay, I gotta get my Graveyard. Tell me that distracts the Prince here. That did that bad of a job? The Graveyard just took 5 business days. It would just closed for the weekend at defending that Prince right there. Wow, I actually thought that would stop the Prince, but suddenly the Prince just ran straight through it. And guys, I thought they nerfed the charge time of Prince, but it goes freaking quick still, man. Okay, this is like our last shot right now. He's literally just gonna spell cycle me if I don't win right here. I thought this guy would be light work. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't think he'd be that good. He has kind of like a weird deck. He has no proper win condition. I mean, sure, he has the Skelly Barrel, but like, it's kind of weird. We do get our ability to space out our Little Prince from the Sparky shot. We're pushing the E-Giant towards the tower, but his poison is kind of wrecking everything. I just have to be so aggressive, because even if I defend perfect right now, guys, literally, All this guy has to do is just spell cycle me, which is the issue. He might get his second Tesla down. Wait, he goes for the Earthquake? I think that was an overextend. I think he's dead. He's dead. Nice. Wait, no, he can't beat us in time. What a choke. What a choke, man. Tornaria Games. All right, we have the first pick right here. There's actually not too many bad cards, but I think we're going to start it off with the Elite Barbarians. All right, the Log and the Goblin Cage, two pretty solid picks, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Goblin Barrel, and then I feel like the Goblin Cage is really good against beatdown decks in general. I would say it's probably the best against Golem decks, especially with the evolution. I know there's no Evos in this, but I think we're going Golem, guys, for the first time right now. Alright, he does take the Bomber and the Knight as well. I noticed that a lot of people seem to pick pretty similar things in Mega Draft each time whenever they're available. So I would say the Knight is a pretty decent counter to the Goblin Machine. It does deal with it pretty nicely, especially after the Machine nerf. It's not really going to do too much usually past a Knight. And then the Bomber is quite nice against the Goblin Drill. Oh my gosh, he takes the Lumberjack and the Balloon. Well, what absolutely sucks against Balloon in terms of buildings would have to be the Barbarian Hut. So I'm going to go for the Barbarian Hut. And then the Lumberjack doesn't really seem to counter anything here in particular. Man, I guess it does good against the Rune Giant, so I'll take Rune Giant. Okay, he took the Freeze as well, so now we have to make another pick. Freeze maybe could be pretty nice against the Electro Dragon, I feel like. I don't know. It's kind of random, but I feel like freezing up the E-Drag can really mess us up a lot, so I'm going to take the E-Drag. Okay, this man actually has a legitimate deck. He has an actual Lumberloon Freeze deck, and we have like the craziest deck ever, so I don't know if this is going to work well. At least we have the E-Drag to target air, but I just feel like when you freeze the E-Drag, you pretty much always ruin its positioning. Like, you let the enemy cards just walk up on it, and when the cards walk up on it, it just dies instantly. So, I don't know if this is going to work out too well, but maybe our E-Barbs can do something, hopefully. But he does have, like, Cage and Guards and everything like that, so I'm actually not sure. Wait, guys, our E-Barbs are actually buffed up right now from the Rune Giant, so they're going to do pretty heavy damage. They almost one-shot the Lumberjack. Yo, that's not too bad, actually. Okay, I have two choices here. I either Barb Hut or Defensive Barrel. I think I'm just going to prefer to Barb Hut right here. Unfortunately, Bomber is actually a really good counter to Barb Hut, but hopefully we can at least get a second set of Barbarians here. Man, please tell me we get more Barbs out of this hut before it dies. Dude, Barb Hut is so bad! That literally just got destroyed by a 2-Elixir Bomber. Are we trolling? Anyways, let me just go for a Golem here. Just trying to play a little bit aggressive just to scare this guy into defending. Because right now he could literally just Lumberjack Balloon and take my tower, but I feel like he's going to be scared and just try to defend, so I think we can make this work. Yeah, we're going to get our E-Drag down here behind this big Golem push. Maybe I could get a Machine down as well or some other support, but let's see what he actually does about this Golem first. He's actually being surprisingly passive. He hasn't really gone for a big freeze push or anything like that. The Golem is going to just die here, but I could maybe sneak a Drill up in here. Actually, maybe I'll go for a Rune Giant. Because, guys, the E-Drag with the chain and the buff damage of the Rune Giant is actually pretty nice. Because it can do the extra damage to up to 3 targets. It just one-shot the Bomber there, and we do force out his Freeze there. You can see the Lumberjack does kind of shred through the Rune Giant, and Freeze does kind of mess up E-Drag, but I guess we're still holding out right now. I'm going to set up for a Barbarian Hut once again. If he goes for like a Bomber or something like that soon, I think the Goblin Machine will just deal with it pretty nicely, so I feel like this could work out well. He wasted the Log, which means we can just get a nice Goblin Barrel, and he probably does not have too much for it. I feel like the game is just going exactly the way we want it to right now. We're going to get our Golem down because we have our Barb Hut, so if he tries to get a Balloon down or something, it's just going to get distracted by that. Yeah, so he goes for the Balloon. Wait, maybe I can activate my King Tower? Okay, never mind. The Barb Hut died. We're going to get our Drill, and then we just go for an E-Drag late. Oh, he went for the Freeze, but a little bit early, though. Oh, that Bomber just did so much damage, guys. Dude, I thought that Freeze was going to mess him up because he didn't hit my E-Drag, but it just did so much Bomber damage. I'm going to get my E-Barbs down here. Then he once again wasted the Log, so we just go for the Barrel, guys. And honestly, Golem is pretty nice in this challenge, it feels like. I don't know. Really, anything can work well behind a Golem, so I think we just take the win right here, bro. The E-Barbs are going crazy as well, and this deck is so much fun. I love this challenge. We got a matchup against Bazaldo. Okay, he does take the Furnace, so let's see what's kind of bad against the Furnace. It's hard to say what would be really bad against the Furnace, but I guess I'll go for the Minions because the Fire Spirits kind of destroy them. And then we do also have one more choice. So I think something else that Furnace does pretty good against would have to be the piggies, because if they play it same lane, you can't really push into that lane with your piggies for a while. Okay, this guy does take the cannon and the Hog Rider. I was actually going to take Hog Rider myself because cannon gets a pretty good trade against Hog Rider, but since he took the Hog Rider, I guess I just have to go for... Actually, I'm going to go for the Rune Giant, because Rune Giant is kind of trash against cannon. I was going to take Battle Ram, but I think Rune Giant is a little bit worse against the cannon. And what sucks against Hog Rider here would probably have to be the Mother Witch, because it just gets no value against it, and it does so little damage. Okay, just take the Guards and the Bandit. So the Guards do really good against stuff that just can't deal with swarms, and one of the cards here that can't deal with swarms has to be the Mighty Miner. And then as far as the Bandit goes, it doesn't really counter too much right here, but I guess sometimes it can kind of easily chain off of Berserkers, since the Berserker has pretty low HP. So if the Berserker takes a bit of damage, they can just Bandit chain on it, so I think I'll just go for that. Oh my gosh, there is no way this guy just took the Sparky. So he took the Log and the Sparky. I'm going to have to unfortunately take the Goblin Barrel, but low-key our deck is not that bad looking right now. Okay, he takes the Ice Spirit as his final pick. So something that's kind of bad against Sparky, I guess, is RG. Yeah, I think our only choice here is to take the Royal Giant. That's just pretty bad against Sparky decks. Man, guys, we almost got a really good deck until we had to add RG up in here, but maybe we can still make something work. We have quite a few ways to get damage on the tower. I think I'll just start off with a Goblin Barrel right here, then maybe I'll get my piggies down soon. It's just that the Sparky could kind of wreck them. Nice, beautiful barrel on the inside, and his guards are on the outside, so we actually get quite a lot of damage right there. We could even try to get a nice Mother Witch, maybe, because we will get a few piggies out of his guards right here. He does go in for his Sparky, but it is in the opposite side of the guards and everything, so we still force out his extra cannon. Kind of a weird cannon placement, but I guess it will get the job done for him. I don't even really know how to defend this Sparky, if I'm being honest with you guys. Shoot, I think I shouldn't have played that Rune Giant so far back. Oh no. I just have to go for a Mighty Miner. Guys, believe it or not, I think Mighty Miner is actually pretty good with the Rune Giant. Yeah, because it just does so much damage so quickly. We can even get a Berserker off as well. I remember Berserker was really broken with Rune Giant as well, because it attacks so quickly. Yo, this Berserker's not going to die here. Bro, that's actually a really good Berserker, but it does die, unfortunately, to the Log, but still Rune Giant gets a bit of tower damage. I think right now we just go in for that RG just for fun, just to see if we could get a bit of damage here. He probably is not going to Sparky into this because he is pretty low elixir. Yeah, so he just goes for his Bandit instead, but we're honestly in a pretty good spot now. I might have to go for a defensive barrel, or I could also Rune Giant, but if I Rune Giant, he might Sparky. You know what, I'm still going to do it anyways. If he goes for a Sparky, I think it's fine. And let's try to get a nice Mighty Miner down maybe, and then we get that boost on it from the Rune Giant, so it's just going to be much more of a threat for him right now. I don't think the Furnace will be enough here just because our Mighty Miner got boosted. Oh, it's going to lose its boost, though. Yeah, it kind of sucks how it loses its boost pretty quickly now, after the Rune Giant dies. The Rune Giant buff used to be permanent, and it was so broken at that time. I'm going to just go for a barrel right here, just trying to keep up the pressure so this guy can't really build up a big push of any kind. We're just going to get an RG down. He played his cannon, so I think we're probably going to take the tower. Yeah, this is really good for us, guys. We just have to defend now, which is going to be, of course, the hard part. We're going to take most of the tower, so I think the game plan here is just to, like, tank the Sparky and everything using the Rune Giant, and then, our other cards hopefully can just deal with stuff. Piggy actually does tank the shot right there, which is pretty nice, and this guy just wasted his Logs, so I think we don't even have to go in the same lane right here. We can actually go opposite lane. We get an RG and the barrel, and I think there's no way he defends both of them. He might kill the RG, he might kill the barrel, but he can't kill both. And for the Sparkies, I mean, we could just go for our minions right here. Okay, there's no way that Sparky gets my whole tower, right? Yeah, Piggies take the whole tower, guys, and this deck honestly worked really well. It had a lot of offense, but also some pretty strong defensive cards. This guy's actually a really good Xbow player. I know he finished like top 6 with Xbow before, but I think this might just be a random Alperen, maybe not the same one I'm thinking of. Oh my gosh, Golem first pick. Okay, I actually think that the thing that Golem counters the most is probably the Xbow, man. Xbow just is so terrible against Golem decks, and let's see what else would be a good option here. So Golem, I mean, I feel like it kind of destroys Tesla decks, honestly. I feel like Tesla's one of the worst buildings against Golem. It just doesn't have as much DPS as like a cannon, doesn't have the brawler of the cage, it's not having the HP like a bomb tower, so I think Tesla's good. He does go for the skeletons and the berserker. What could be a good pick right here? I feel like the Ghost, actually, because Berserker destroys Ghosts really easily, so I'm going to go for the Ghost. And then, yeah, for Skeletons, I mean, I could actually Bandit, because Skeletons counter Bandit for 1 Elixir, so I think that's a good choice. Well, a bad choice, actually. Oh my gosh, Spear Goblins and Electro Spirit. I gotta go for the Graveyard, unfortunately. And I feel like Electro Spirit is also pretty nice against stuff like Minion Horde. So I think I might just go for Minion Horde, yeah, because E-Spirit can take them all down to just 2 tower shots, and paired with like a Zap or a Rage, it just completely kills them. Okay, he does take the Flying Machine and the Arrows. I mean, I already took the Minion Horde, which is going to get countered by the Arrows. And the Machine, what spell sucks against Machine? Oh, Earthquake. Yeah, I gotta go for Earthquake. At least now he can't take Earthquake for my Xbow, though. Alright, Fireball is this guy's last pick, so... I mean, what should I even go for here? I think the... Hunter just gets kind of demolished by Fireball, so I'll take the Hunter, I guess. This man for real just picked a whole Golem Cycle deck against me. Well, what I'm gonna do is just Xbow first play. I usually do this against Golem players when I'm playing 3.0 Xbow and just pray. I just pray they don't have Golem in Cycle, but unfortunately this guy does have Golem in Cycle. But he doesn't have Arrows in Cycle, so we're gonna go for a Minion Horde at the bridge. I guarantee you he has no Arrows in Cycle. Nice, I knew it. There's no way he was gonna be that lucky and have Golem and Arrows in Cycle. We just gotta play with luck a little bit right here, guys, because otherwise I'm probably gonna lose anyways, so I might as well take some risks. That's what I always like to do against counter decks. I always like to take a few risks because I know that I'm going to lose if I play normal, so I might as well try to be a little bit more aggressive. Pretty bad defense by him against our Ghost and our Bandit, so we're off to a nice start already. Wait, this guy's calling the early good game already. That is pretty early. We do get our Hunter in the back, and then maybe I could go for another Xbow already, because if he tries to get a Golem... Wait a minute. Dude, my cycle's so bad, I'm just going to Graveyard. I'm going to Graveyard just because he wasted the Spear Goblins. I feel like this is going to get a little bit of chip. I know the Berserker is going to kind of hard counter it, but Berserker got the attack speed nerf or whatever, so I guess we get like a couple hits on the tower. That was really just a cycle, though, not really to get damage. Our Horde does get arrows away, but at least it got the value of countering the Berserker. What I'm actually going to do right now is go for an Xbow on the left side, just because I want him to put the Golem on the opposite side that he's going for. Oh man, he played the Spear Goblins right as I played the Xbow, but he still just barely had his 8 Elixir to get the Golem down. So it's fine, you know. It's going to maybe be a little bit annoying, but we could just get our Tesla up high, and that should be able to already start DPSing the Golem down a little bit. I'm going to go for the Hunter on the Flying Machine, and looks like we're actually handling this guy's deck pretty nicely. It's just that when he gets a ton of Golems down in like late double or triple Elixir, that could be a bit rough. He might even be able to get double Golem pushes. Okay, that is an aggressive Fireball out of him. I think we just have to go in for the Xbow right here. I don't know if he can actually deal with it. Nice, he can't deal with it because he played the Flying Machine. Nice, man. Let's just go for the Tesla at the bridge with this Xbow. He does get a Fireball down, but that's probably still going to take the whole tower. Wait, he played the Arrows and the Fireball. I can just Minion Horde Graveyard. And then I can still try to get my Bandit on the right side just to finish off the tower. He's actually defending my Minion Horde pretty easily, but Bandit does get straight away on the tower, and we completely demolished Golem Cycle.